Greetings, viewers. As some of my, well, probably most of my regular viewers know, I actually bought myself a vehicle recently, which is something that I've been meaning to do for a while. Some people have asked for a video. Originally, I wasn't going to make a video because, quite frankly, it's not the kind of thing that I think I should be making a video of. It doesn't fit in with the channel, but since people have asked for it, I might as well do it. And I've been trying to think about how I want to make this video. So I guess we'll start from the beginning. Basically, the whole driving force behind it was that I'd go lots of places, around the city, thrift stores, whatever, and I got kind of tired of lugging treasures via the public transit system. It's doable, but it's kind of limiting what you can actually take with you when you do something like that. Plus, I got kind of tired of getting all of the odd looks for bringing random electronic junk. Yeah, you know how that goes. So I've been kind of half-heartedly looking for, or had been kind of half-heartedly looking, probably for the last 2 years or so, and hadn't really had a whole lot of luck. You see, what I was really looking for was something that predated the whole electronic nanny state device overload in a car. I didn't want a computer on wheels, pretty much, and that you can get various levels of computer on wheels. I mean, anything made within the last, 40 years has an engine computer. So technically it's still a computer on wheels, but what I was looking for was something that didn't have a gigantic touchscreen in the middle of the dash, didn't have any kind of, listening devices, and didn't have any of that. So it's kind of funny that I ended up buying a brand new vehicle, like brand new. But we'll get into why I ended up going down that road here in just a moment. It started with a Buick. There was a 2003, I want to say it was. I don't actually remember. It's 2001 or 2003. It was a Buick Century Custom. Very nice. The pictures made it look nice. Nicer than it was, quite frankly. Listed as a beater car for less than $1,000. And I thought, hey, that's nice, even if I have to spend $1,000 doing all the safety certificates and all of that, which again we'll get into in a second. That's a pretty decent. I went and looked at it, and it's fair to say that it was more Bondo than it was car. And I test drove it, and somebody had rode that thing hard and put it away wet. So I walked away from that. Plus there was the small matter of the insurance costs, which were through the roof at the time, because I was less than 25 years old. I'm 25 now, so obviously that, I don't know why that's the cutoff point. That seems kind of weird, but whatever. I didn't come up with these rules, and they didn't ask me when they came up with these rules, so I guess I had no say in that. But it kind of snowballed from there into just a mess, because this province, the province of Ontario, makes it very difficult and very expensive to get a vehicle registered in your name. Because in order to get a vehicle, in order to get plates and a sticker and registration, you have to have the thing insured before you can do anything with it. You have to get a temporary tag in order to go and get a safety standard certificate, which costs a fair amount of money. I forget how long they last. I think it's a year. I ran into a couple of situations where the guy says, yeah, I've got the safety cert, but the safety cert had expired, and then he wasn't willing to get a new one. He's like, oh, it's good enough. It's not good enough. Come on. I'm not going to give him a safety cert that expired and have to go spend out-of-pocket money to get it redone. Which is part of the, I would have liked to go through a dealership, because they tend to deal with a lot of those things for you. And I found in my dealing with private individuals that most of them really don't have any clue how to sell a vehicle. Some of them didn't even know what a used vehicle information package was, which is another thing that you need in order to register a vehicle. I forget what all it entailed, but, it's basically the pamphlet that details the vehicle itself, the VIN, and all the other things. So that seemed to be a non-starter. I looked at several different vehicles at small-time dealerships, and most of them tried to use the excuse of COVID to not let me test drive a vehicle, and quite frankly, that's ridiculous. I don't care what the rules say. You need to devise a protocol to be able to let a prospective buyer learn all that they need to know about a vehicle, and that involves a test drive. Or at the very least, it involves taking it to a mechanic, a certified mechanic, that may or may not be one of their preferred guys. You know, I would prefer to steer clear of their preferred guys. I'd go to my own mechanic and have him look at it and give me an honest assessment of the vehicle, so I know what I'm getting into. But particularly the thing that bothers me is that they won't let you test drive a vehicle. Oh, COVID restrictions. We don't have a means by which to clean the vehicle. Okay, fair enough. But, you know, then you gotta be willing to stand behind it more than what you normally would. And the best that I think I was able to get was a 30-day, you know, bring it back if there's a major problem out of one dealership. That was it. And that's not good enough. Quite frankly, it's not good enough at all. So that ended up being pretty much, it was a rabbit hole, and kind of a depressing rabbit hole at that. You know, you find the vehicle that you're actually looking for, very nice, good condition, but then the paperwork and the not willing to stand behind that which we sell kind of just gets in the way. So there were a lot of them that were like that, and it's like I kind of just gave up after a while. And then back to work came this past June. So number one, I got a raise, so now I have more disposable income. Number two is I have to actually get back to work, and it made me realize that with all of the road destruction going on, mostly as a result of COVID restrictions and less people on the road so they can get away with all of these destruction projects, that was inconvenient. That's about an hour and a half of my time, and I had to get up basically at 4:30 in the morning to be able to get to work for 7. Although, to be fair, most of that time is spent preparing myself to leave the house. I didn't leave the house till 6. You know, so it takes me a long time to get ready in the morning. But still, it'd be kind of nice. Plus, there's the small matter of I have piles of junk sitting in my office that needs to come home, and I'm getting tired of taking things one at a time, once a week, out of there. So I kind of wrapped up my search, and I rethought what it is that I was looking for in a vehicle. And they salt the roads to taste here, so I would feel kind of bad about getting a nice old vehicle and then driving it every day. So basically it came down to this. I have my commuter vehicles, the thing that I use to get to and from work 5 times a week. Well, 10 times a week. 5 times to and 5 times from. That I don't really care if it gets door dings, or, well, I do care because it's brand new, but I don't care at the same time. See, I'm kind of anal about the condition of things that things are in. That might not have been the best word to use, but, you get the point. I am meticulously, I take care of things. It might not look like it when you see some of these things, but I try to, at least. And so that's one thing, but at the same time, it's brand new. It's got a warranty that's going to cover it for, I think, 120, was it 100,000 or 120,000 kilometers? Or 7 years, which is the duration of the financing that I've got on it. I think. And that's probably good. I think that'd be suitable. I might keep it for 10 years. I might keep it for less than that. I don't know. I haven't really figured that out yet. It depends how long it lasts, really, before the costs start rising. But I wanted something that I wouldn't care about road salt, wouldn't care about, minor door dings, wouldn't care about paint scratches, wouldn't care about anything like that. So, and then the idea being that later on down the line, I could invest in another vehicle that's a summer driver. That's what I'm looking for. A nice older car. You know, the little old lady car, I guess you could say. Which, it's kind of funny that I'm the guy that's after that kind of thing. But, you know, a road sofa would be nice, but at the same time, I'd feel kind of bad driving a road sofa 365 days a year and having it wear itself out after 5 years, you know. So that was the whole pivot to buying a newer vehicle. And initially it was still going to be used, but it was going to be newer, until I happened to find this. What I saw was this. You can see it's a very nice blue color. I happen to really like this blue. Different from the red, and it's certainly different from the silver. If you want an example of the silver, here's a pretty good example. Although this isn't quite the same thing that I have. It's the same vehicle, same brand anyway. Well, same brand, same make, and same model. But the difference is that this one is a model year older, plus this is the LE version. I have the SE version, which is the Sport Edition, so it's got a couple of additional things that this one does not have. This is my brother's car. You can tell he does not take care of it. Yeah, I mean, really? Come on. So it does have some notable differences. Mostly, it doesn't have the fancy, it's not the fancy trim level. So you can see there. There's what the running, I guess you call them running boards. They're not really running boards, but the thing looks like. As opposed to, you come over here to mine, and you can get an idea for what it looks like. So, but that was really it, as I chose this one in particular, as opposed to any of the number of other ones, simply because of the color. I didn't want something that was silver. Obviously, it would conflict with that. And I didn't want something that was white, just because they get insanely dirty. And I didn't want something that was black either, because not only do those get insanely dirty, I mean, you can even see it on this one, but they also get insanely hot. And it's not like this is any better. It's got the black interior, but still, you know, I kind of would have preferred. Does this even have a lighter interior? I'm trying to think. I don't believe it does. Obviously, I can't get into it. It's not my car, but no, it does. I think well, you probably can't really tell, but yeah, no, this one does have the lighter interior. But yeah, I have an all black interior, so it does get kind of hot. As you can see, mine actually comes with the upgrade package as well, which comes with a few additional things that the normal SE does not. But I've made sure to keep it scratch-free, at least insofar as I can do. Should take it to a car wash. It is a brand new vehicle, 2021. You can see it comes with the sporty hubcaps. See, mine is nice and fancy. It's got the turn signals on the mirrors. It's also obviously got the blind spot monitors and things like that. It has forward collision detection, which unfortunately I have got to experience once, because people don't know how to friggin' drive. And it's got all of the, you know, the usual standard safety features and everything like that that comes with modern vehicle, which does include roadside assistance. Basically, their equivalent of OffStar, but I'll live with it. We can go ahead inside. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. It is keyless, so I can actually lock it. I have the key in my pocket without using any keys, and I can unlock it very easily. If the key fob dies, though, it does have the key. So, come on in. You can see just how dirty it is in some places of this. I don't have very many passengers, so the back seats are pretty clean, but obviously This is not so much. Alright. So you can see center console. I've already put 18 kilometers on it. I didn't think I had that much. There's light blinking in there. That's the security. So you can see, it's pretty standard. It's got all your fancy stuff, none of which I use. So I don't even use the cruise control, for crying out loud. Here's your rear view mirror with your usual features. Again, that's how you break camera equipment, by showing that in it. It does have the map mirrors with the map light. It's automatic. It has a moonroof or sunroof. I don't know what you'd actually call it. I'm pretty sure it's a moonroof. I do get use out of that. I open it when I first get in here from work when it's hot. Of course, it's got the manual map lights there. I don't think they call this in here a map light. I don't know what you would call it, but it is there. It's got the tilt adjustments and, of course, open and close. You can have these lights come on when the doors are open. You can turn them both on. There's a speaker here, which I'm sure you cannot see. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get the light. Okay, that might be a little better, even though it's kind of overkill at this point. But you can see there the little microphone for the SOS, which is thankfully protected. I've almost hit it at least twice by accident. One of the other things with the SE model is it's got fancy, pretentious-looking leather all over pretty much everything. See these seats. I think they're upgraded seats. They're not as good as a road boat is, so it's not a Mercury Grand Marquis or anything, but they're still better seats than you get in your typical cheap modern car. At least I think they're better seats. They're better padded. It's a little bit more forgiving than some of the other cars I've been in, including that LE over there. I don't really like the glossy plastic all over everything. That's another thing that I'm going to kind of give a negative on. I'm not really a fan of that. It tends to just not look very good after a while. So, because I do have the SE, it's got the sport shifting mode. Of course, there's your traction control defeat. I don't actually know how many speeds the transmission has. I know it's more than the LE. The LE shifter is quite a bit different. I want to call it a 3-speed. I do believe that it's got a 2-liter engine, however. It's still a 4-cylinder. It's still only an inline 4, but it is a little bit bigger than what you get in the LE. It might be a 1.8. I'm pretty sure it's a 2, though. Other amenities that you have, it's got heated seats, which is very nice. That's something that I probably would not be able to get used to not having. I'm not sure what this actually is right there. If that's automatic high beams. It's not automatic headlights. The automatic headlights are controlled with the stock here, with your usual headlight controls. So, not entirely sure what that's all about, but it's there. There's your control for the intensity of the dashboard lighting. I always just leave it on automatic. Heated steering wheel, another very nice feature, and I believe this is for your automatic windshield wipers. So there are rain-sensing windshield wipers. And of course, we come to this, the climate control, which is pretty much entirely automatic. It does have your front and rear defroster, and the rear defroster also turns on the mirror defrosters, the heated mirrors, which again is a very nice thing to have. And of course, it's got one of these massive driver infotainment centers in it. This one's a really fancy model because it's got Grace Note integration. I guess if you hook it up to your phone and use Bluetooth or whatever it is to play audio, it can hook up to the Grace Note database and get you song ID information. It does have Sirius extremely mediocre radio and HD radio capabilities. I don't really think there's very many, if any, HD radio stations in this area. And obviously I don't use extremely mediocre radio, so I'm certainly not going to pay for it. I'd rather listen to quality music, not 64 kilobit per second MP3s, quite frankly. But no, it's got all of the usual functionality. Touch screen, obviously, but again, I don't find myself really needing to look at it. In fact, really the only time I look at this is when I'm using it to park. When you put it in reverse, it's got the camera and it's got the lines. I can use that as a judgment as to whether or not I'm actually in my parking spot or not. Pretty ingenious, if I do say so myself. Okay, I turned on the video light, so now you can see the wireless charging pad a little bit better, which I believe is the key, or the qui, or the she. I don't know how the heck you're supposed to pronounce that. Uses that particular standard. Doesn't work with my old-ass phone. That's all I can tell you. But the other thing I did forget to mention was the Android Auto and I guess Apple CarPlay functionality, which, yes, of course, this does have, being a modern vehicle. But it will only work over USB, and you've got to keep it plugged into this one USB port. I just keep this USB cable here because, well, I might as well. I use it for charging the phone, because I find that 9 times out of 10, I forget to plug the phone in when I go to bed at night. And then I come to it in the morning, and it's got 20%, and that's kind of a little annoying. Let's go ahead and pop the trunk. Which I have to do anyway, because there's stuff in there that I need to get out. So if we lift it up, you can see, obviously, I've got a computer in here. It's not a Mercury Grand Marquis, like you're not getting a chest freezer in here, but I think it's a pretty spacious trunk for a modern vehicle. You can fit about 6 computers in it. I found that out the first day I had it. Take it to work and fill it up with all the crap in my office. But yeah, under here comes with a full-size spare, which is actually really nice. It's not a donut, so that's pretty impressive, really. There are, of course, the summertime floor mats, which I will never use. It does have a trunk light, so and that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to say, so I'll go ahead and we'll move on to some driving video. Oh, copyright. There you can see it running. Turn the air conditioning off so that's not blowing in your face. So you can get an idea for what it looks like when it's actually driving. It's bloody hot out here. Oh, yeah, I did almost forget. I'm sure somebody's going to ask me why I'm not popping the hood. I don't really see a point, because quite frankly, there's so many plastic baffles under there. It's pretty much all just plastic baffles and covers and things. You're not going to really see a whole lot. It gets about 620-something kilometers to a tank, which is actually really good, because it means that I only have to get gas every 2 weeks, roughly. Which is really good because fuel is absolutely bloody expensive. So, there you go. You can see that's at half a tank too, which gives you some kind of an idea of how much you get on a tank. We are good to go. She's not really watching. He is, but I'm a nice guy. I'll let him go across. If there was somebody behind me, I'm sure they're pissed off. Sorry. I mean, it wouldn't really matter. Be stuck here for a bit. So if you put your turn signal on last minute, I'm gonna kill you. Okay, we're going. I hate people who do that. going around it. I'm sure there are plenty of people who would. I find it annoying when people do that. It's so annoying. That sucks. Who else is crossing who's not paying attention? Let's get away from this hell zone that is over here. This is really bad. Oh, Jesus. Go, dude. Yeah, this place is a hellscape once you get to 4 o'clock. Holy crap. Get me out of here. I don't really need these glasses. Could probably have gotten away with the other ones, but... I turned the radio off. I just want to get some good driving video, so probably don't need the whole trip. You have the wrong turn signal on, dude. You're lucky I was actually watching you. Anyway, what was I actually saying? Oh yeah, computer that showed up. I waited for 2 months for that stupid thing. It's not exactly what I had ordered either, but what I had ordered was back ordered for even longer, so I figured, you know what, I'll tolerate it. It's a 10th generation Intel i5 rig with a very nice board, actually. It's Q470 M-C. Of course, it's the corporate stable model because it's a business machine. However, it's got a PCI slot. I wish I could buy one of those. You know, PCI is very handy. So next time I'm looking for a board, I may actually have to look. Somebody just blew a horn at something. I may have to look into getting one of those, the Q470 M-C. Probably not the corporate stable model, but you know, it'd be nice to have. This is what kills your fuel economy, inching along like this. You can make it loud if you really want. I think I actually have the, I wouldn't say lower quality, but lower spec tires. Oh, something happened. Please tell me I don't have to change lanes now. Oh, it's a tow truck. That's hilarious. Did the tow truck die on the side of the road? I think it did. I don't know how much of that you actually saw, but, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be stopped here. How much do you want to bet that people are gonna try and get in front of me? This kills your fuel economy. I hate it when people do this. Like, come on. You shouldn't be that far back to start with. There's a Maserati over there. I think it's the first time I've ever seen one of those. It's not moving, which is great. I don't understand why people blow that kind of money on a vehicle. I mean, I'm say this as the guy who literally just spent like 40 grand on this one. But I just, considering this was 40, I don't even want to know what a Maserati would have cost. Probably over 100 grand. And I don't get why you would spend that kind of money. What the hell is that? This guy appears to be having a hard time controlling his trailer in front of me, I guess. I don't like how the dash lips up on this car. You can see it in the video. So it kind of ruins the view, so to speak. Which is why I want to get an actual proper dash cam. So that way I don't have to deal with that. Plus the dash cam will actually have a wide angle lens. So you can see a little bit more of what's actually going on. This guy is straddling the lane like a genius. He slowed down all of a sudden. I'm sure the guy behind me is thinking the same thing. Why the hell are we going so slow? At some point, this road changes to 70. I don't remember where. I don't believe it's here. Yeah, this guy is really having a hard time controlling his trailer. I didn't think it'd be this cloudy out. I wore sunglasses. Did my mirror move? No, I just moved. I'm sitting farther back than I normally would. Flying garbage. Welcome to the big city. There's always flying garbage somewhere. Are you sure you want to be behind that? I wonder if my mother got her car back yet. Oh, the horrible driving I've seen today. What is this thing? Let's see if we can find out. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments. Chevelle. Alright. Can't believe I thought it was a Camaro. Wow, that's horrible. And I'm supposed to know how vintage stuff works. You know, the funny thing is I think... Yeah, I wonder if she got her car back. That's the dealership lot. Oh, for f***'s sakes, why are we going so slow? Can pull up right beside this Chevelle. Try not to show him off because I'm sure he's gonna try to reciprocate. Driving at my blind spot. See how fast this person... Oh, you're gonna get out of my way. Cool. I'm not actually going that fast. It's 80 along here, I'm only going 90. I think that's probably enough video, honestly. Clip that together and throw that into a thing, so... That's it for the vid. Thanks for watching. You got any comments, leave them below. Somehow or another, I'm sure that there'll be stupid drivers that'll show up after this particular clip, but that's alright. So we'll wrap it up with that.